Hey guys, Boost Auto here, and in this video we're showing you how to install our patent pending S-Series cab lights to your 2015 through 2019 Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 2500 and 3500 trucks. Let's get into it. Get ready to boost up your truck style with Boost Auto's patent pending S-Series cab lights. Our cab lights aren't just any cab lights, they're built with pure quality and precision. So of course, they're gonna look way better on your truck than anything else out there. We put in years of research and some serious innovation to bring you the ultimate cab lights for your truck. You can option these in our crisp white running light or our sleek amber running light to finish off the look of any build. You can also option for our jaw-dropping startup sequence that'll add personality to your build. And for the first time in the history of cab lights, we've developed groundbreaking technology specifically for our cab lights. Our S-Series module enables turn signal on our cab lights without the need for additional wires being run to them to add that function. This means no unnecessary wires, no unnecessary panel removals, and a no-fuss installation. Get them as standard flashing signal or option for the more premium sequential signal where the signal swipes instead of flashing. But here's the best part. The S-Series cab lights are available as switchback, so they'll fit right in with all the other awesome Boost Auto products on your truck. Couple things before we dive into the install. First, this video is for 2015 through 2019 Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 2500 and 3500 trucks that are equipped with factory cab lights. If your vehicle is a different year range, or if you're looking to retrofit the S-Series cab lights onto your vehicle that did not originally have cab lights, we have different install videos for them, so be sure to check out our YouTube channel. As always, to check fitment, availability, and to purchase this or all other products Boost Auto has to offer for your truck, you can go to boostauto.com. And now the install. Your cab light box will contain the cab lights along with the retaining clips and bolts. If you option for turn signal, you'll also receive our S-Series module. More of that later. And you get a supplementary components kit to hook up the S-Series module. For this install, you'll need the following tools. You can pause here to collect them, then let's get on with the install. Before you do anything else, if you have a sunroof on your truck, definitely roll that back all the way. Now we can disconnect the batteries. Go ahead and disconnect them at the negative terminal. To access the cab lights from inside, we'll have to lower the headliner. First, we'll detach the roof console. Go ahead and first pry out on the trim plate. Inside, you'll find two screws that are holding the roof console in place. Go ahead and remove them. With that, you can gently pull down the console. Go ahead and disconnect the connectors here and set the roof console out of the way. Next, we'll work on the sun visor. Go ahead and extend the visor as shown here. Then remove the trim piece located at the base. The visor is being held to the roof by 3 T15 screws. Go ahead and remove them at this time. With the last screw off, the visor will drop. Disconnect the connector and set it out of the way. Next, at the sun visor's support, pry back on the tab at the rear of the support and remove the screw. Next, we'll remove the windshield pillar. We'll show how to do this on the passenger side. Begin by removing these two trim pieces. Underneath, go ahead and remove the bolts. They are both 10mm. With the bolts out, you can pull back on the pillar and up to release the insert at the bottom of the pillar. After this, we'll remove the handle up here. Pry back on these two covers and remove the bolts. They're both 8mm. Next, we will remove the B pillar. It's being held in place by two bolts here and here. Remove the trim clips first, then remove the bolts. Back from inside, you'll have to pry back on the bottom panel of the B-pillar to be able to release the top panel. With that, you can pull back on the top panel to detach it from the pillar. You can see here, you'll have to pry back 3 clips. The seatbelt will remain looped through this panel, so you can set this piece out of the way inside the vehicle. Awesome, with that, you can repeat everything up to this point on the driver's side. The steps as well as the tools used are identical to the passenger side. Now we can peel back on the weather stripping to release the headliner on both sides. With a gentle tug, the headliner will drop no problem, allowing us to access the cab light mounts from inside. Let's first remove the driver's side or left-hand light. Locate the bolt for this light. Be sure to locate the correct one, as the bolt from the antenna will be located close to this one. The bolt and retainer we are interested in is closest to the door. Go ahead and first disconnect the cab light connector by pressing down on the connector tab. All cab light connectors are identical. Then remove the bolt and retainer attached to the cab light. You may need to press on the side of the tabs to push the cab light out. Next, we'll work on removing the center cab light. It's being held in place by 2 bolts underneath. Go ahead and first disconnect the cab light connector. Then remove the 2 bolts and retainers attached to the center cab light. Finally, let's work on removing the passenger side or right-hand cab light. Locate the bolt and retainer inside, then disconnect the cab light connector. Remove the bolt and retainer, then press in the side tabs to release the right-hand cab light. Now we're ready to install Boost Auto's S-Series cab light to our vehicle. It's important to note here that the retaining clips are single-time use, so make sure to use the clips provided by Boost Auto and to only tighten them once. The clips will align with the cab light post like so. The bolts go through the retaining clips into the cab light post. Now before you install your S-Series cab lights, be sure to give the surface of your vehicle a good wipe down using your preferred exterior vehicle cleaner to get rid of any dirt buildup or adhesive from your previous cab lights. Our patent pending design creates a superior seal without the need for additional sealants. We use closed cell foam to create a thicker gasket going beyond the OE design, eliminating any chance of moisture intrusion. The thicker gasket allows more pressure at contact, leading to a better seal against the outside elements. With that out of the way, let's start by mounting the right hand or passenger side cab light labeled RH. Feed the cab light harness through from the outside. Inside the cab, secure the light with a retainer and a bolt. Firmly tighten down the cab light bolt to ensure a weather-tight seal. Then connect the cab light connector to the factory harness. Next, we'll install the center cab light. Go ahead and guide the harness through from the top and align the cab light pillar. Then install the retaining clip and bolts at the post. Remember to firmly tighten down the cab light bolts. Install the cab light connector to the factory harness. Up next, we'll install the left hand or driver's side cab light. Go ahead and feed the cab light harness through from the top and line up the cab light post. Then install a retaining clip and a bolt to the post. Please make sure all the lights are tightened to the same degree. Finally, install the cab light connector to the factory harness. With the cab lights mounted to our vehicle, we can continue by reassembling the headliner. Go ahead and push up on your headliner. We'll begin by tucking the headliner under the weather stripping both on the driver's side and passenger side. Next, on the passenger side, install the top panel at the B pillar. With your bottom panel already pried out from disassembly, you'll be able to slide the top panel into place. Make sure the pillar loops for your seatbelt is aligned to the panel so the seatbelt height is adjustable. Then press both panels in. Make sure to tuck them under the weather stripping. Install the 2 side bolts at the grab and install the trim piece here too. Next, we'll install the handle above the door. Go ahead and slide the handle into place, then install the bolts. Then snap the covers in. Up next, at the windshield pillar, guide the panel down first, then snap it into place. Make sure to tuck it under the weather stripping. Install the bolts and trim pieces. For the sun visor, start off by connecting the harness. Then align and press up the base of the visor. Install all 3 screws here. Then install the trim piece at the base. Let's move on to the sun visor support. Go ahead and install the screw and snap the cover in. After that, we can move on installing the roof console. Install the connectors at the rear of the console, then snap the console into place. Install also the 2 screws, then snap in the trim plate. On the driver's side, reinstall all the components in the same way. Hey, if you got our plug and play option equipped with running light only without turn signal, your install is complete and you can skip the next section and go to reconnecting your batteries. However, if you opt for turn signal, you will also have to install our S-Series module to enable all the lighting features. We'll break that down for you up next. To install your S-Series module, we'll first have to remove this panel on the passenger side. Disconnect the top connector. Do this by pressing in the side tabs on the latch to release, then swing the latch up all the way to disconnect. You can release some of the clips on the harness so you have more play on the harness. Cut the zip tie here to make more room to work here, then peel back some of the tape on the harness too. Next, let's take a closer look at the S-Series module. This side is our input side with a 2-pin connector for power and ground, and a 4-pin connector for running light and left and right signal. This side is our output side. The blue wire will intercept the output to the cab lights. The black wire is not needed for this application, so go ahead and tape it out of the way. First, let's intercept the output to the cab lights. Locate pin 8 with the blue latch swung out all the way and pointing down. Pin 8 is 3 rows up from the bottom on the right column. Go ahead and cut this wire, giving yourself ample room on both sides. Strip both ends of the wire. Next, bring the S-Series module over, crimp down the blue output to the wire that's going towards the harness. To the wire going into the connector, start off by connecting one end of the butt connector from your kit to it. We'll come right back to this wire, but first, get the harness from your kit with the 4-pin connector at the end. This harness will connect running light as well as left and right hand turn signal. The orange wire is for running light. We're going to connect this wire to the butt connector we just installed. Since the S-Series module and the connector we're working on are both going to remain on the passenger side, we can cut the orange wire pretty short. Go ahead and strip the end of the orange wire and connect it to the butt connector. Now we will route the 2 remaining wires, the red and green and the red and blue, over to the driver's side, route them into the cab as shown in this video. Tape the wires to a flattened out piece of metal and route it behind the center console. Locate the BCM or body control module under the dash by the pedals. Disconnect the black and brown connectors. Go ahead and peel back some of the tape from both connector harnesses. Then, working on the brown connector first, tap to pin 2 using one of the red T-taps from your kit. With the connector tab on top, pin 2 is located on the top row and the second slot from the left. Press in the T-tap until it clicks into place. In the same way, on the black connector, tap to pin 3 located on the top row and the third slot from the left. Next, we'll cut to length the 2 wires that we had sent from the passenger side. Go ahead and strip the ends of these wires and connect each with a spade connector from your kit. Awesome, pay close attention to this next part. For our left-hand signal, we'll take the red and blue wire from our harness and connect it to the T-tap on the brown connector. And for the right-hand signal, we'll take the red and green wire from our harness and connect it to the black connector. Go ahead and reconnect the black and brown connectors. Then we can tuck the harness out of the way. Let's head back to the passenger side to continue with the wiring. Tap to pin 1 for power. For this wire, we'll be using one of the blue T-taps from the kit with the blue latch swung down all the way. Pin 1 is located on the top row in the right column. Next, tap to pin 10 for ground. This is located on the bottom row in the right column. Use the red T-tap for this one. And if you have 2 wires at that slot, tapping to either one will work. Up next, bring the second harness from your kit over. This will have a red and black wire with a 2-pin connector at one end. Since the wires are going directly from the connectors to the module, we can measure and cut it to length. If your wiring kit includes an inline fuse, it will have to be installed to the red power wire from your harness. Here's how you do that. After you have cut the red wire to length, strip the insulation and crimp down the butt connector end of the inline fuse to the red wire. Your kit will already have an eyelet and spade connector that will connect to the other end of the inline fuse depending on your application. For our application, we're going to be using the spade connector. Go ahead and crimp it to the inline fuse. If your kit does not come with an inline fuse, you can install spade connectors directly to the red power wire and the black ground wire. Just strip the ends of the wire and crimp down the spade connectors. Back at the connector, connect the red wire from the harness to pin 1 for power. And in the same way, connect the black wire to pin 10 for ground. Heat shrink the butt connectors, then secure the wires to the connector. Next, install the 2-pin and 4-pin connectors from the harness to the S-Series module. Install the clip on the connector harness. After that, you can go ahead and line up the connector in position, press it in, and swing the latch all the way. Secure your S-Series module on the side as shown here and tuck any loose wires in. Reinstall the side trim panel and if you have any slack on the wires running across, you can tuck them out of the way too. Then finally, reinstall the batteries to complete your installation. Congrats on your upgrade. Thanks for choosing Boost Auto for your aftermarket accessory needs. The S-Series cab light featured in this video can be purchased on our website at boostauto.com. We also offer a wide range of products, parts, and accessories for your trucks and SUVs. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can be the first to know about the latest product releases and watch other videos you'll find interesting. That's all for now. Catch you in the next one.